Well, hello everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike today. A little bit of a late start. Not a big deal. To you all, it's a big deal. Nothing super serious at work. It was just one of those nights that it was an enjoyable night. So, just want to welcome you in. Just stayed up a little later than I wanted, but like I said, it was a great night. So, but anyway, folks, welcome in. Today we're back in Europe. I think, yeah, I guess this is considered Europe, Budapest. Um, Flying out of, well, Budapest, Hungary to be, I guess Hungary is actually the country, not Budapest. Sorry about that. So we're flying out of Budapest, headed up to Frankfurt. Now, I was tempted to do this on VATSIM, but I've got a feeling frame rates are going to come into play. There's rain, heavy, folks, it's Frankfurt. It's like flying into London. You're going to hit, there's going to be a plane or two there, always. No, there's going to be a lot of planes there. And frame rates can get a little dicey on X-Plane 12 for my rig, not necessarily your rig, so I want you to keep that in mind. Um, So I kind of tend to opt maybe over to POSCON when I'm going into airports that I know heavy traffic's possible. So along with heavy ATC, all of that factors in. So that's today's game plan, folks, and I'm glad you all have joined in. I hope you all enjoy. And we're going to, well, as you can see, we have the A320NEO on the line. And if you don't believe me, it actually tells you that on the plane. See? So let's get up in the cockpit and see what kind of damage we can do. All right. Before we get too far into this setup here, let's pull in Sim Toolkit, properly brief this out as best we can. Hang on a second. Oh, that pesky cough for the allergies will not go away. All right, let's try a little more coffee down the gullet and see if that works. All right, so as you can tell, we have Sim Toolkit up here. Now, I use Sim Toolkit over the other one. Really, they're both free for the most part. The other one has some payware options. I am unaware of any other than the standard, you can donate to us at our whatever they use. But that's not the real reason, folks. There's so many tools in Sim Toolkit. What a name, right? Um, you can, if you're, say you're in Budapest, where the heck am I gonna fly? I'm from the US. I don't even know how the heck I ended up in Budapest, but now I got to figure out how the heck I got to get out. Well, they have airlines. They have a schedule system. It's pretty up to date. I mean, yeah, you're going to find, like all of them, issues where they're not completely current. But for the most part, folks, they'll at least give you ideas how to get out and then plan a flight and get out. Likewise, to get where you want to go. Say, I want to go to Frankfurt today. Oh, oddly enough, that's where we're headed. I could put in the arrivals and we could do that, or by plane, or by whatever. And you can actually find out what is going on in the real world. That's one tool, along with a whole bunch of tools. We're right now on the flight schedule. What do they actually call it? Yeah, flight summary. I was close. They have a live map. They're both the same. Just drop this off for the most part, and so forth down the line here. So a really good free, folks. You're going to find that's one of the big things we promote here. The world of X-Plane and what we get for free, that you pay a couple of arms and a couple of legs, and by the way, then you end up with none. for stuff over on other sims. So, all right, so we're here. Let's see, what are we loaded out with? Today, the airline is, wow, gonna make some money today. 177 folks headed to Frankfurter from here. 7,900 pounds of cargo. Put an asterisk by that. You'll see what I mean here in just a second when we get back into the plane. Okay, there's our route. We're not going to go through it, folks. The one thing different, I'm going to say that I notice from US versus European flying is you don't need 2 arms and legs and the co-pilot's arms and legs for all the flight plan itself has, let alone all the fixes that are in each of those airways. It's unbelievable. Look at this flight plan to go. I think we're only going. Oh, Syn T3X. The tool is Sim Toolkit. Sim Toolkit. Welcome in, first time chat. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard. So for the flight today, let me look over at SimBrief real quick. It's a heck of a lot faster to find the route. About 500 miles today, folks. So not a bad. So that's 500 miles. We can usually get away with the runway being about right here for the so like I said, it's always, that's one of the fun things about flight sim. You know, we all get so ingrained in our area of operation being either Europe or the US, and when we actually go somewhere else, it's like, whoa. Like here in Germany, for example, Frankfurt could have one transition level. Munich could have another. It's the same country, let alone same continent. Where over in the North American continent, the whole continent is 18,000 feet. So again, it's that little nuances with these countries. I love that about flight sim, that I'm able to do that. Unless you're an international commercial pilot, you're not going to get to experience that kind of flavoring. Other than, oh, we're going to go to Toronto here in the U.S. or down to Mexico City. That's about as close as we get to it when you stay like that. So, but anyway, just some things. I digress. I know. So, but that just always cracks me up how to go 500 miles, we have such a long flight plan. And in this one, not very many airways. It's weird. You look at Sky Vector. Here, I'll pull it up. Instead of saying you look at it, let me first switch into the world. And if you missed our Sunday flight, folks, from Billings to O'Hare, that's what was up there. All right, so LHBP, EDDF. This is another thing that it just, not sure why we don't know the airways in here. Again, that's just the way it is. But anyway, you can see in here, you can see all these fixes. Let me zoom in so you can see all these fixes, but there are 0 air, and yet these airways, I guess, do extend. Don't know. Or it's a free-for-all. Hey, that's my kind of flying. Free-for-all at 39,000 feet. So, but yeah, it just, the little things like this, you know, and I love to see real charts now, just to see, is it really like this? You'll find it in Ireland and a few other places. I can zoom out. Spain, it looks like. Eastern or Western England and most of Ireland. So you can see what I mean. Up in here, this could actually, well, I don't know. That could fall into the same thing. I don't know. But anyway, it's just this big, oh, of no airways. Wow, now Italy. Holy mackerel. It's like a wildfire, folks. It's spreading. Oh, wait. I was wrong. That wasn't Spain. That was France. My bad. Again, you know, they maybe don't want us sim pilots knowing. I don't know. And maybe it's real. Who knows? So, but it's just the little differences throughout the world you see that's what I love about flight simming, folks. So, so there you have it. We'll start off at 34,000 at VAGAB. We dropped to 24. Where is VAGAB? Must be on the T178 or the 170, one of the two. Probably setting us into Frankfurt. I'm not going to guess. I don't know. It's been too many years since I've done Europe pretty constant. So cost index, though, will be 35. All right, some other things you see down here. I do have my SimBrief account tied into SimToolkit using this little cog here. It's pretty simple. And my NavGraph charts count. All I got to do is click import, import from SimBrief, and there we go. It'll zoom down, and there's what our route looks like today, again, with all those airways missing here in Hungary, Austria, heck, all the way down into Italy. It's kind of bizarre. Maybe they don't want us flying here. I don't know. Maybe we'll see UFOs. Nice to meet you as well. Hope you enjoy the flight we've got planned for you today. We'll be on POSCON today. We're not on yet. We'll be there in a moment. We got to get things set up in the plane. So for today, we'll be departing on the GILEP 2B arrival. That's 2 Bravo off of, I'm sorry, departure. It's hard to take off on an arrival. That could be difficult. 13 left. Up in Frankfurt, we'll be coming in on 25 right on the KERA 4 Alpha arrival. So we'll get back to SimTool or to NavGraph charts here, probably using the standalone because it's a lot easier to bring it in with the FMC. So pull that away. All right, so let's get into this plane, shall we? We need to get going. So, all right, so first thing when you come in, of course, you're going to make sure the batteries are on, and well, lo and behold, we're already powered up, so that part's already done. So we've already got it all the way down to the external power connected. However, let's go up top real quick. Oh, my dog is just going crazy, crazy, crazy. He must see my wife and daughter coming back with the grandkid. Grandkids, my bad. I forgot we have 2 today. Woo! All right, also what I do is click ground control, and what that does is allow you to hear the tone for CVR, your cockpit voice recorder test. Okay, and then I go up, click the purser switch on, APU fire check, engine fire check, and the other. Now that's not the full check you should be doing, but that's pretty much what Toliss gives us. We just don't have the ability to bounce down and check, did these light up and did it light up on the ECAS? Okay. Finally, I put our strobes and nav lights on, emergency lights on, and get our seatbelts and smoking light lit. No smoking light. Sorry, not that flight. Might as well do a light check real quick. All good. All the light bulbs are working here. And down to here. So those companies that make light bulbs like Sylvania and GE, they're doing great today. All of them are working. Okay, dome lights and all are set. Elevation is auto, and everything on the cabin looks good. We don't have the EPU as of yet fired up. We will momentarily. And the electrics are good. Gens 1 and 2 for the engines are off. So we're in good shape and the ventilation is good. Airbus, if the switch is dark, folks, it is on. Unless we're talking like something you really need to verify, like here, probe heat, engines, and it will turn our fuels off. I'm going to do a battery check real quick. Good deal. Good charge up. All right, we're good to go. Moving our... Oh, I moved that too quick. Doggone it. All right, what we're looking for when we do this is go to nav, get the on bat, and then it to go off. There, we got good checks. We're now aligning. All right. Real quick, here's our setup for today. 177 passengers, our 14,000. Well, we couldn't put 14,383, but you know, 400's pretty close. So we got it in there, 13,607.10. So we're good to go with the setup we have. And you can see where our CG sits, right where it's legal to fly. All right, so let's move on. And everything. So let's get down here to our McDo's. That's the Airbus way of saying FMS, Boeing guys. Boeing guys and gals, I should say it that way. All right. Let me just position these a little better so they don't. Perfect. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry for that interruption, folks. Grandkids came back, and just wanted to let them know I'm going to go ahead and close the door to the office here. All right, so let's get this, like I said, McDo going. I am going to bring in charts right now. Now, this is exactly what you saw on Sim Toolkit. It's the download to your desktop that you would use that little cog at the bottom to bring it over to Sim Toolkit to be like a one-stop shop. All right, hang on a second. Oops, I forgot a couple of steps. Oh, I thought it should have been on the... Oh, no, I'd already started. That's why. Okay, charts. Let me make it slightly bigger. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so as you see it, folks, you see our departure here. We're going to kind of zoom down on it. So we're going to be blasting off southeast, make our turns, and head for GILEP. Okay, but we got to get there first. So let's go. First off, make sure our dates are good. Then we go to the init page. All right. Now, if you have a SimBrief account, if you go, let me just show you. It's a lot easier to show than tell. There's an interesting thought there, folks. Think long and hard on that. But if you go to the Toliss Interactive Simulation Control System, they call it the ISCC, or CS, sorry. Sound and accounts. In your SimBrief account, go into the actual account information and look for your SimBrief ID. It's not what you log in with. It is digits, numbers. Put those in there. Follow the manual. Folks, the manual is spectacular on this section. Follow it, and then it'll tell you, once you put that in, it'll tell you about this section with ignore aircraft or this or that, HOPI, CPDLC logins, all of that is explained there. Then hit save. What that will allow you to do. Okay, so you'll come up here on the init page. Now, normally, what we would used to do is put in our company route, which in this case would be something like BP EDDF 01, and it would populate that part of the flight plan. Then under alternate, we'd put the alternate / whatever. Okay. That's a lot of typing, folks, for flight simming. Come on, we're not real airline pilots. Oh, wait, some of you in the streaming world are. Sorry about that. Or you would type in your from /to. Now, with that when you put all of that information from SimBrief in here, all you got to do is click init request, and it starts your data downlink or data link, and poof, your flight is beginning to download into the avionics of the plane. Pretty cool what they can do. Hence, 40-minute turnarounds are actually possible, folks. Pretty tight, but possible. Especially if you're at a hub. But anyway, so then just got to come through here and look at things. All right. Now, the reason I paused for a second, I wanted to make sure the init wasn't there. All right, so we're going to go get the information for this, and we're going to actually set this to the either stand we're at or as close as we can get. I forget where I'm at. Oh, yeah, now I know. 45. Okay, so we're at 45. 45 right here. So we're going to set it to 4726.0 north. It's already there. 1915.8. Wow, it's already there. Cool. Align on ref. So when the alignment reaches, which is at 3 minutes now, finishes, it will align right to that spot the plane is at. So instead of being, let's see if it'll even show it on this map. I'm not sure where the reference point is for the airport, but wherever that is on the airfield, that's where it would line up. So let's just say it's right here at the control tower. More likely not, but it could be. See, the dimming, it's in terms of, knowing where your plane is, you're off by that much. Folks, that's not bad. But, I mean, say they somehow put it at the north end of the airport. That could be significant. So you've narrowed it down to that spot. That's pretty cool how GPS is really coming along. I was introduced to it in the trucking world where they could follow us, and they did fire some drivers who parked at known places where they would go, drink, get back, drink alcohol, get back in the truck and drive, get pulled over for that. And they'd figure out where they were. If we got the trucks were they were notified if our truck company trucks were there, good chance you're going to get fired. It was, I mean, that's the downside of GPS. But it also helps when you broke down on the side of the road and you go to the company, and all of a sudden here comes a wrecker within an hour or two instead of having to walk it. Upside to it. So really interesting what GPS has done these days. Pretty sure a pilot can't park at a bar and then take the plane off from there. But you never know. Could be coming. All right, now we also know our cost index was 35, so I'm going to go ahead and set it. And 34, I believe, was the initial. It was, and we can also get our winds. Okay, wind is complete. And unfortunately, I don't know the tropo, or I would go after it. Just don't have it with the format that I'm using off Simpri. Right, GPS primary means it's aligned. It's alive. No. So it is aligned to spot 45. Now you saw a couple of others where it would align in a different, where it's like 2 or 3. So it's picking, it's getting you in that zone. So it's just, knows right where you. Okay. So we've done the init here. All right. So now let's go to F plan. Okay. Now you can see when it comes down. Now you knew you had the GILEP. Hang on a second. Let me bounce back here. Light. You knew we're going to do the GILE to Bravo departure GILEP transition. It's not there. What do? Click the airport, click departure, and follow the on-screen prompting. We are going to use 13 left. Cool. Nice short taxi. I was going to change it if it was a long, if we were going up here. Captain's priority, of course. Prerogative. My bad. My prerogative. Okay, and then we just come down here looking for our... so we're on 13 left. There's the GILE to Bravo. No transition, I'm assuming. I hate to assume, so let's look. And with Europe, one of the neat things, you see charts, they're very similar to us in the US. We have all these different transitions. What they do is the transition is the name of the departure. So we don't usually have a transition. There have been occasions, I forget the countries we were in, but there are some. So all you do is click here. And if you were following along, you can see now it's starting to fill it in. All right, and that's exactly what we're going to start doing here now. We're going to start checking our flight plan. Okay, so if you follow along over here to GILEP, we're going to see how it matches up. So 701 to 712. It does help their captain to put it in plan. All right, so there's GILEP. All right, so we're done here. All right, so from GILEP, we're going to get to BELG, which is right, BEGLA, sorry. And we'll just make sure down here there are no big changes in the routing, meaning it's skewing off any kind of, it's right, it's the course we want. I have actually had it where I accidentally either typed the fix in wrong or something, and I ended like 3,000 miles off. Yeah, you don't have the fuel for that. All right, so there's BEGLA. DITIS. Actually, I'm going to go out a little further. All right. There we go. Now you can see the remainder of the route. So, DITIS, RAPET, Mergo. So we're just going to walk it through. Okay. And I've also had it where it would go because the airway did something funky, went up here to get down here instead of bouncing from here to here like it was typed in. They do screwy things sometimes, and that's what your job as the pilot to make sure it won't do so you don't run out of fuel. FAA and Europeans' version of FAA kind of frown upon that. Oh yeah, and those passengers behind you will too. So VAGAB. Oh, we got to come in a little. Hang on. There we go. All right, so GAPLA. No, I'm sorry, I was thinking the other way. Wow, there's two of them. There we go. KERAX. Let's back it up. All right. So you can see we filed in here just fine. And looking up here, everything seems to be right, where it's supposed to be. So we're back to the arrival again. Now, this time we've chosen Kara 4 Alpha arrival 25 right. Now there's a caveat here. We got to figure out what approach we're going to do. I can already hear you going, Captain, we're near approach. You can do a lot of things right now. Now we could do the full procedures for Kara 4A. Quick. See how they go way out here to turn you in right here, 426 for the initial inbound. Well, there's 480, but here's 426, and that is going to be, I'm going to guess, every bit of 30 miles out. So now we could take this shortened Int'l as our transition and cut it off right there. So you see what we're learning with this chart. It's showing us this. Now, let's close off. Here's that cutoff, but it's not the full Kira. So, we're kind of... I kind of like this one, that's why. I hate flying all that way out. Then having to turn it in on my own. We'll just do that. Okay, so we'll take ILSY for 200. One thing I want to check before we go any further. Where the heck is 25 right? Way up here. Wow, nice long taxi back to the terminals. Let's shoot for 25 Charlie, shall we? I just realized that, folks. Oops. Cancel. Changing. Let's... Okay, 25 left. That'll work. Bet you're going, why did it say all of that? Let me show you real quick. It is the EDDF, real world EDDF. Well, sort of, kind of, maybe. Now, why do I say it that way? I don't think it would show, well, it's not showing the real world approach EDDF for Frankfurt. But it is showing what IVAO has out there. IVAO using the left and right, using the center for takeoff. which is odd because a lot of times they try to put aircraft on the north-south. So that's kind of weird in itself, but another time. But anyway, so left, right, we're going to take the left one. So as we look, we're going to land. We're still going to have a significant taxi back to our terminal, but it's not as bad as coming from way out here all the way down and into here. So I think going to the left runway is more suitable. So for 25 left, now let's see what we get there. Bet you they'll look pretty close to the same, just turning us differently. Remember, we would have gone here with 25 right. We're now going where the EDDF marker is, pretty close to that. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Stand by. Lufthansa. Hang on. All right, folks. Not really sure where Lufthansa parks. I thought they were here, but I remembered something about here. We'll see. But anyway, 25 left, we'll still have a little bit of a taxi into there. So our choices will be, we'll just do 25 left, 626. 25 left. Okay, we're coming in on the star Kira for Alpha. Okay. Kira for Alpha. 626. All right. So again, it reads off pretty simple. We're coming into the ILS 25 left via DF 626, and our star is Kira 4 Alpha. Insert. Now, when we look at it, you can see now we have what's similar to a vector you can see on the chart. Okay, so we'll be coming down KERAX Go Day 407. I got a feeling we're going to be descending before then, folks, but we'll see. Oh, we're at 24,000, so we will have already stair-stepped down. Okay. Then 408, 411, 408, 411, right on the end here. There's that miter cutoff. Remember we saw that? 412, here we go, out to 416. And this manual is basically like a vector on your 737s. You can get rid of this, folks. All you do is go clear, manual, clear, and there it goes, turning you in, insert. Then we come in on the ILS and right in for the runway. So there you have it, folks. We're loaded. Now the blue, that's your missed approach out here to CHA to hold. And then this blue is if we have to go to Munich. Why would we go to Munich? That's our alternate. Okay, next up on the hit parade, we got everything lined up here, folks. So let's go to the rad nav. Everything looks good in case we got to come back. Then we go back to the init page to, I call this page A. Let's go to page B with the left-right arrows and verify our numbers. Okay, 136.7, perfect. 29.2, we're actually zero fuel weight, CG, that's this one, 29.4. So it's slash 294. Okay, block it out with 14.4 on the fuel, cool. And our times all look good. All right, from here we go to perf. All right. I love this page. Oop, I just hit the, hang on a second. I'm just verifying what we have for data here. 100 at 4. Ooh. Temperature here is a balmy 16 degrees. And the altimeter is 2992. Looking it over, should be a dry runway. We'll keep the any ice off. And now, here's where my fun, and I'm going to have the air conditioning on. Okay. Why I like this thing so much. I can actually run scenarios. Now, granted, dispatch is, or the service you use for your performance data that your ACAR system will send the data to, all of the load and performance data, where the people are, everything in the plane, and bring it back to you. And 9 out of 10 times you're going to put that in. There may be an anomaly you need to check up on. Because if it's the airline or a company, it doesn't matter. It's still your butt on the line if something happens in the real world. Okay, so let's look at this. So 13 left. We know that's what we're shooting off on. Full length. Hit compute. We're doing a flex. That'll be flexed at 73. And our V1. Now, why is it like this? You would decide, you know. So if I use, say, 120, you're going to be a little further up the line. If I use 149, you're going to be up here with 2,200 feet to stop. Probably can do it. So I'm going to say we'd probably have it around 144, giving us a little cushion. You know, 114 is a little much, but on a wet runway, 7,500 feet sounds kind of weird, but that's a lot of runway to stop, you know, to get stopped on. Remember, reason this is being thought up here, folks, is if you lose an engine and can't commit to flight, you need runway to stop. That's what V1's all about. Something happens that you can't commit to flight before this speed, abort. After that speed, commit to flight, unless it's something that really can't commit to flight. And at that point, you've done all your due diligence. You're just going to have to ride out if you're not going to stay on the runway. Okay, then rotate at 149, 151. There's our trim. And Toga's just going to put us back further. We got 12. I'm going to do this. All right, so we're going to run with this setup. So flexing. So here's what you do now over on your FMC. Uplink. Now you can also do this in the proper places on your Hawker 125. Welcome back. Glad to see you aboard. Thank you for coming in. Hope your day at work is going well. All right. So we got to put the winds in 100, just like we did there. Diagonal 4. Hang on. Okay, it's working. Yeah, one of the last flights we did on this, I got hung up, and just making sure we're good. All right, so everything's good here. Receive your takeoff data. Okay. All right, takeoff data uplink, flex, 73. Now they're saying 149, 149, 151. Again, you as the pilot in command, make your call what you want V1. So I just go insert. I'm going to do 145. Knowing that's going to give me a little couple 100 feet more probably. Just for safety. And then 149, 151. Transition level. Hang on a second. Okay, now the reason I put this link up there for you guys, if you go to this link, and I'm headed there myself, as soon as I find it, there it is. Usually, if it's in Europe, he'll have a nice chart for you, which he does here, and all the information we need for the airport minus the charts. The big thing we're looking at is thrust reduction and acceleration, which we can now set to whatever the formulas are for this. So it's 2000 / 3500. Engine out for 13 left is 2,000 feet. And there you have it, folks. It is to the most. There's our flex, our trim, our speeds per me, runway, and flap speeds. Okay. So we are now just about ready to go. So bear with me a second here. I'm just running through my checks, making sure we can fire up that APU now. And get ourselves ready to go. Flaps open. And there she goes, firing up. All right. Again, I hope y'all are having a great day while we got this little lull here once we hit 100, we can move on. We're almost there. But I really do hope you're having a great Tuesday. It's actually kind of a in-between kind of day here. Looks like it could rain, but looks like it could sun as well. So, take your pick here. So, I hope you're having a great day where you're at. And, okay, available. Okay, air conditioning panel's good. Waiting on the pack. Oh, we don't have the pack on yet. Packs are on. And probe heat's off. Okay, air conditioning settings are set. And the cross bleed is right now at auto. Gens are still 1 and 2 in fault because the big engines aren't on yet. Okay, strobe lights, auto, 2, set, and all set. Okay, let's do a quick check here. 1013 LS constraints. LS constraints. Okay, working our way across. VOR, VOR. Arc 40. I'm going to go to 20 just so I get a better read. Speeds are managed. Heading managed. Managed meaning the computer, avionics computer in the real plane would be controlling, and it will be here in the simulation, your route along the green line here. Magenta for you guys in the Boeing world. And then coming across altitude, the departure here, initial climbs, there is 7,000. And again, managed. So any altitude restrictions along the way, it will account for. All right, I am going to start buttoning up things here real quick. One thing I like about Toliss, the animation is really great. Now, these guys, it's not much, but you get the air stair or the catering trucks, the leveling feet come down thing, it's more to what you would expect in the real world. I really like that Toliss took that extra step. And they're all buttoned up. We're just about ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and get us on POSCON. All right, so we're A20 flying DLH. Call letters. Uh-oh. Okay, flight plan, where are you? Oh, there it is. I just found it. Don't mind that guy behind the curtain, guys. We are flight DLH-458. Okay, and we're going to log in. Yeah, I got to turn off X-Pilot. All right. Okay, so now I have to log into the UI. All right, ATC, login to, what was it, LHCC? Yeah. DLH-458, yes. Okay. Get our clearance from Clarence, hopefully. And we did. Squawk code 0045. 5. And yes, folks, I am going to figure out a way for you all to see this process, because I actually like POSCON, mainly because it is a bit quieter. You don't have all the chatter that can be on it. Plus, when you're going into major airports, the ATC, the traffic itself, and the weather could just hose and you're off anyway. So I will set some things up here one day so you can see how doing all of this up here with POSCON works. All right, hang on a second. Got one more step to do here, folks. Okay. And that is to get on my ACARS program. Mid flights. We are flying for Millennium Aviation. Wait a minute. I thought I clicked it. Okay. Mac Air for short. Really good bunch of people, folks. I do highly recommend them. I've been with them better part, oh my gosh, I don't even know how long now. But it has been just wonderful, from the flight tours you can do with them to just plain old flying. It's just, I love the simpleness, the great Discord channel. Oh, that's right. I got to respond. Sorry, folks. I know it's telling you that. What did he do wrong? Forgot about that. We'll go. Anyway, just a great airline. Check them out. You're going to find they're pretty easy going. They have weekly flights if you want to get into it. A destination of the month, which we'll be going to this week. And just a lot of fun. So check them out over there at macairvirtual.com. So, and speaking of, let's get going here, folks. We're about 20 minutes late out of the gate, but we'll try to make it up en route. Right, final checks, altimeter set. FCU and flight directors are both speeds, heading, altitude set. Okay, nose wheel steering's on. Landing gear lever down, 3 green. We are ready to go. Transponder set currently at X-ponder, but we're going to move it over when we're ready to push back. Radar unit is still off, and we're going to go ahead and close up the main door. If you watch in the top of the screen there, this is the main door. Slides are all being armed, and we are ready for pushback, folks. The only thing I've got left to do, and I do need to double check frequencies. All right, so common traffic 122.95 unless it's published in the charts, which it is. Just got to get to them. Okay, not that one. Well, then we'll just go 122.95. But technically it is, but that's US. And that is your control tower frequency. But there's probably more than one here, so picking the right one will be difficult. Okay, so we're on it. We got our backup. We got it all set here. We're ready to go. And I need to do one thing. Perfect. All right, let's do it. Pushback. Better pushback will be the animal. Another free utility,
Bound to
folks.
cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, and as soon as she says she's ooh, what? Let's go ahead. Come off external.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, chocks are released, so we're good to push, folks. All right, again, thanks for flying with Mike. We sure hope you're enjoying it. If you are, or would just like to see more of us, hey, we'd love to have you aboard on our next couple of flights this week. Just smash that follow button, and that way you'll get notified when we go live via email. If you're curious what's on tap for today, scroll down below under About. You'll see our flight schedule
Tow
this
connected
week.
and bypass cone inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, here we go. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, we're going to actually hold so I didn't really see anything. Yes, you saw the thing. This bridge was right up against the plane for the most part. So I should have, before I came on, pushed it over a little bit so it would have come back. But, we're good. All right, what I'm going to do is begin to get the air in. Got our 40 PSI ready to go. Going to go ahead and start cranking on one. For a second there, I thought we had traffic in front of us. And we got a light off on one. Again, hope y'all are having a great Tuesday. I know I am. It is my birthday, so it's always fun. I wasn't sure where I wanted to fly, so I thought, what the heck, let's do Europe this year. So we'll enjoy the flight. So I hope y'all enjoy. And I knew I forgot something.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right. and she's ready to disconnect. We'll go ahead and start up number 2.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Thanks for flying with Mike there, better pushback. That was just hilarious here in the house. Wife had a birthday card for me, and yeah, it went every which way but where it was supposed to go. May 59 years old be better to you than it has been for me. All right, folks, and number 2 is fired up. Sorry, a little bit going on here in the cockpit. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get it going. Okay, yeah, we're set. Timer running after start checks. Bleed off. Down to the bottom here. Spoilers arm. Landing flaps 1. And all right, pitch. All right, now I do this probably different, a little different than my checklist here. I highly recommend checklists, folks, especially those of you like me fly a myriad of aircraft. Really helps. All right. So we bring up, we know we need a trim of up 03. There's where you see it right here. This is what I like over Boeing. I can physically see what the actual number is. All right, and then I just 3. Whoop. Oh, way too much. There we go. Up 0.3 matches. While I'm here, let's go ahead and just make sure our surfaces are checked. Excuse me. And then we'll just kind of run through them all one more time, making sure everything's free. And then always make sure when you center them, they center. Okay. Good, checks off. Okay, let's go down now. So back up top, and we can close that. APU off. Engine ice not required. AP or slides. Now you can actually arm your doors and cross-check. Radar going on. Potential wind shear is what PWS stands for, if you were curious. All right, nose wheel lights, taxi lights, elapsed time, all ready to be turned on. Got our 3 minutes, and we're ready to taxi, folks. Engine modes, get that back to normal. And let's start our taxi. All right, so I'm going to go to the map here. We need to go straight. To, is that Alpha 4? Hey, there we go. We are on the move, folks. Again, welcome aboard. Y'all have a great day and enjoy the flight. Now, if you have missed anything here, folks, because of those pesky commercials, a couple of options for you. One, give it a couple hours and it'll be up on YouTube at that channel. Or two, and I'd leave this totally up to you. I do not try to pressure sell, but you could subscribe to the channel, and that is the big perk, commercial-free stream. So you shouldn't get commercials. Let me put it that way. Twitch, I can't control them, but my stream says you won't. So. Okay, we got a little ways to go over here to Alpha 4, and then we'll make the left to head up to 13 left. I've been asked this before, folks. What is my favorite airplane? I really don't have a particular, although the 747 is very near and dear to my heart. I love that plane, so if I had to pick one, that would probably be it. And if it's the flight simming world, probably the Fearless 747-200. Just an amazing plane that 3 people worked as a crew to fly. And you get to do it as one person. But also in the flight sim world, I love these Airbuses. They are just so much fun, so easy to fly, and I just enjoy them. So also the Zibo, that's probably the best 737 simulator out there on the market, and we could squabble, you know, whatever, but you're not going to be able to beat the price. Free. You can pay all your arms and legs for that other one, but when you boil it down, you're going to see Zibo is equally, if not better, than EMTG. So that's how they would go, folks, with me. All right, get these checks done. All right, cabin, take your seats for departure. All right, and folks, that means we're about to take flight. Tower, Lufthansa 458 will be ready to go into the runway. Roger, Lufthansa 458 will be line up and wait. Budapest traffic, Lufthansa 458 departing runway 13 left. And copy tower, Lufthansa 458, clear for takeoff, 13 left. RNAV, GILEP. Okay, again, flex takeoff, folks. 73 degrees, meaning we're flexing the engines so they're not maxed out, saving a little bit of life on them, and getting ready to power up here. Okay, here we go, folks. Timer's on. All right, take her up to 50%. Flex. Yeah, good thought. Bring fan on. Okay, V1. I'm sorry, correction. 100's airspeed's alive. V1. Okay. Gear up, positive rate. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let auto fly it out. All right, folks, we are airborne. 8 minutes from pushback, and we are now 1 minute into flight, into the runway takeoff. Level climb. All we do is pull the throttles back to that notch. Now, you all hear me say that a lot. Let me kind of, well, flight factor you can. Let me kind of zoom in here. All right, so here you go. You got toga, flex, CL. That's your climb thrust limit. And that's pretty much where it stays, folks, for the entire flight. So you're just putting it in these notches, and then the throttle will adjust ever so much inside there to keep you climbing or descending or in cruise. It's a pretty neat system. A lot of corporate jets have it. Airbus incorporated it. It may have came from Airbus for all I know. But we're airborne, folks. Flaps can come up. a little early. All right, Roger. We're out of the airspace, so let's go to Unicom. Roger, Lufthansa 458 cleared to flight level 340. Set in 340. Managed still, so it'll climb with any restrictions that might be out there, which there is only one. We've already crossed it. So we're cleared up 34,000. Away we go. Usually your clearance when you're on the ramp will be something when you call clearance delivery. You know, you're cleared via the GILEP 2 Bravo departure, GILEP transition, climb and maintain 7,000, expect flight level 340 10 minutes after departure, squawk, in our case, 0045. You would read that back. Now, literally, folks, they put that 10-minute clause in there that if you do get off the ground and 10 minutes later you haven't been told, you can, from what I understand, you're then allowed to climb. You don't have to call for permission. I could be very wrong. I am a private pilot, folks. I only had a private pilot's license. It's limited instrument training. And that instrument training is from the 1980s. So please consult your instructors on that. Don't say, well, flying with Mike said I could do that. Well, good, because in court, that's exactly what I'm going to say. I'm a private pilot, and this is the best that I know knowledge-wise. Check with your instructors. So, because we do actually have several pilots in training that do follow the channel. Okay, we've reached the transition level, so we're going standard there. Let's get the lights off, and away we go, folks. Right, and then once we get to top of climb, we'll kill the seatbelt sign. So again, hope you enjoy the flight. We are off to Frankfurter, as some people call it. I like to just call it Frankfurt. So, and if you all will excuse me, I will be back one moment. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. All right, folks, we are back with you. We're through 23,000 for 34. Some fun facts about April 9th, April 9th in itself. This was the day the U.S. Civil War ended in 1865. Didn't know that till I visited the Lincoln Museum, President Lincoln in Springfield, Illinois, up the road from us. Learned a few other things I knew, but I didn't put dates together right. So I didn't realize my birthday, which would be 100 years later, making its own civil war. But anyway, what all happened on my birthday. So it's kind of interesting when you look back to see what happened in history, if anything, on your day. And yeah, for me, the U.S. Civil War ended. Pretty interesting stuff. And of course, a couple days later, President Lincoln was assassinated. So, also, if you ever do get a chance, folks, if you're in the U.S. or you live here in the U.S., check out those presidential libraries. Some of them I know aren't the greatest, but some, it's pretty interesting what you learn about history. So, especially with Lincoln, one of those great presidents. I want to get out to California and see the Reagan Museum. So, but anyway, we are on our way. So, I hope y'all are enjoying your Tuesday. I'm trying to. Been a rough couple of months out at the airport for me mentally, and starting to culminate the last couple of shifts. So, just asked for some prayers that I can uh, bear through it. So, welcome aboard, folks, and also be advised, I do not hide my faith here as a Christian. So I know a lot do. I will not deny Christ. I do. Let me rephrase it. I do my best not to, because while Peter, as we all know, as we just went through the Easter season 3 times, as Jesus told him on the Last Supper, or just prior to it, Peter was ultimately forgiven and became the leader of the church. Not only, again, predicted by Jesus a few years earlier, but again became that leader. And what a leader. Wow. Between him and Paul. So, but anyway, hope you all enjoy a little bit about me besides my Christian background. I am, like I've said in the stream, a private pilot. I earned that in 1983. Flew till about 1985, 86, when, you're 18, 19, 20, and you're going, what in the world am I going to do with my life? I wanted so badly to be an airline pilot, but yet I still went through that with a bad check ride and for inter interclass check ride, not a check ride for ticket or um, instrument or commercial. It was just an in-course check, and it was horrible. So, but anyway, I went on. I joined I was in the Air National Guard at the time in Ohio as a firefighter. I decided to go ahead and say, you know what, let's just go become one in the Air Force. So I went ahead and put the papers in to do that, and then got out 4 years later. And believe it or not, couldn't find a job as a firefighter. There's a whole story there. We're not touching here on the stream, just to let you know. And became a truck driver. So, drove for 10 years. Hey, I got to drive my 747. It just was always on the ground, and it was called an 18-wheeler. Check it out if you ever want to know how many tires are on a 747. And then I got into flight simming. 25 years later, 12,000. I did this because I joined an airline and they asked me how many hours I had on VATSIM. Wow, 12,000 hours. I could have spent all of that money, folks, on all the software, computers, and all that I have here for my flying. If I'd have put that into that, I would have at least had my commercial ticket. Would we have been an airline pilot still? I don't know. It's pretty expensive, folks. So, but anyway, that's a little bit about me, folks. I've been doing this streaming for 3 years. I switched to X-Plane at about the same time because of a computer problem that I caused, not FSX. Like a lot of, well, that's because it was FSX. No, FSX had nothing to do with it. So, and I'll be telling you right now, I will not go back to that company. So I enjoy X-Plane, and it is a phenomenal simulator. A little bit of a learning curve at the beginning. Once you get past that, folks, you will find out just the realism here in this sim. You may not get the eye candy. I am more into the environment. And I don't care. Oh, look, I can see my house. No, I'm not into that, folks. I'm into the overall experience. So, of including the physics involved in flying around me and in the plane itself. So that's a little bit about me. Folks, feel free to hit that follow button. If you're watching us on YouTube in a replay, hey, hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to join the family. And if you'd like, tag over here to Twitch. Catch us on Twitch. And love to see you on the live and meet and greet you. One thing I have been remiss in doing in this stream up to date, and I'm going to wait till the commercials end here in about 30 seconds or so. So I'm going to hold on that. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little background on me. So again, folks, thanks for flying with Mike today. It is always a pleasure to take the air. And what I do here, folks, is this is where I unwind from the garbage that goes on that's called life. So, all right, we should be coming out of the break here in about a couple of seconds. So I'll just say welcome back to our folks that were in the commercial. Thank you so much. I was telling our subscribers I was remiss that I didn't tell you the Discord channel is available. So if you want to come on and chat on Discord, here's an invite. I know some of you may not have it hooked up or may have some troubles. I've heard from the past streams. I get it, no problems. I'm glad you're here and enjoy the flight. But yeah, feel free to jump in on Discord and just be mindful, as I said about myself in the beginning, I am a Christian, and I truly believe there's no need for the foul language that some of you, myself in the past, have done. Back when I drove a truck, oh, I could make sailors cry, folks, with how bad, vulgar I could be with my language. If I hear that, I'll mute it, and that'll be the end of Discord for the day. Because the thing is, folks, there are small children that we can't control. The parents are they're going to be there. They don't need to hear that garbage. So we just ask that you check your language at the door. Don't bring it here on the stream. And if you have to, head on down to the bar. All right, so we are in cruise. Let's turn the wing lights off. Seatbelt signs are off, and let's let those passengers stretch their legs as we have, oh, what are we showing here? About 300 miles, 280 miles-ish to top of descent. So, folks, I'm going to kick on a little music here. I hope y'all enjoy the flight. And we'll be chatting with you here. We'll be on the side. Hey, feel free to chat away in the chat room or use the invite, come over to Discord and join the family there. So thank you so much, folks. Really hope you have a great day or have had a great day, since really this flight's more centered around those in the European time zones. But I know we have a good American following as well. So enjoy, folks. Thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Oh. Sounds like we're having some issues with the audio on the what's this thing called again? Got it. Anyway, on the app that I'm playing the music on, it just blew off my mind. I can't imagine. Like I said, folks, may the age of 58, 59 be much better to you than it has been for me. So, but we're going to continue the flight. 23 minutes from the brake release on the runway, and we're in top of cruise, and we're in cruise. We're going to do a quick system check here, and then go into cruise, let you all enjoy the music, and hopefully, and go from there. Let's get our fuel tanks balanced out, which isn't bad, and that's mainly because we waited. Whoops, that and that, Mike. Okay, turned on the crossfeed. All that does, folks, just in case you're curious, when you're in normal flight, we have it turned off like that, okay? So this engine is, or these fuel tanks power engine 1, right side powers number 2. However, to balance this aircraft out, what we'll do is turn the crossfeed on, and now all the tanks are feeding all the engines until we turn the pumps off for the left side. Get a warning. Yeah, we turned it off. We know. See if there's anything it wants us. Okay, it wants us in ignition. And then it's gravity feeding only. So we'll go into ignition. Should. Hang on. You can see it cleared one of our items. All right, now we're just waiting for them to balance. And it won't take long, folks. Some of the aircraft it does. This one, not that long. just want to check, make sure our engines are doing well. Go ahead, hit the fuel button one more time. Looks like we're balanced, and we'll come back into normal. All right, looks good to me. So let's go ahead, set it in here, and let's do that check now.
Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
And we're back to there. So this is just a quick overview. You can see some of the stuff we saw earlier as we went through some of this. But the big ones you can't get into is a lot of the bleed or the electrics or the pressurization. Only thing you get on those, here's your cabin pressure, cabin altitude, so forth. All right, so there you go, folks. We've done our system check. Should do them about every 30 or so minutes. You know, that's kind of the air cruise call, airline call, you know, whatever your SOP is. But anyway, folks, we're on our way. Hope you enjoy. Let's see what it looks like out the windows. Hope you enjoy the music, and we'll be back with you here in about 30 or so minutes to prepare for the arrival into Frankfurt. But again, I'm on Discord. You're welcome to join me. Also available in the chat room here on the stream. Type something in. I am watching it, and I'll hope to meet you. If you're new to the channel, of course, smash that follow button. We'd love to have you aboard. Again, welcome aboard Flying with Mike, and we'll be sitting on the side here as we head to Frankfurt. Wow, the whole time here, folks, I was on mute and didn't know it. Ah, sorry. Anyway, you guys got to probably go, that's the best flying with Mike has ever been. I want to say what I was saying while I was muted. You missed. Um, Folks, I have a couple guys that have not claimed, have announced they are in instrument commercial training. Keep at it, guys. Don't let a bad check ride mess your mind up like it did me. If you really want that left seat in an airliner, keep at it. Keep at it. Get back on that horse and keep going at it. I didn't really have anyone to help me through that. And if you do have a bad check, call me. Please. Let me know. I'll listen to you and try to help encourage you to get back up on that plane and keep at it. All right. Now, we just went through showing you, you saw it, our arrival, all the information on it. We're going to go straight to the ILS. Again, across the top is all the frequencies we could run across. Folks, any of you out there know how I can get the DITIS not within the US? I know how to find that. I've got that actually down here at the bottom in my one-stop shop called Sim Toolkit. But it won't carry over to when I see DITIS for Frankfurt, Heathrow, Hong Kong, you name it, Tokyo. I'd love to know how to find it so I could keep up on it. I have to rely on VATSIM or Pilot's Edge or IVAO having ATC in the area to be able to get it. That's why you don't see it right now. However, the part we're really concerned with, okay, is right here. Our localizer and final approach course. That's it, folks. You got to fly that frequency, that course to find the runway. That's an ILS approach, folks. That's any approach. But very simple. ILSs are really simple in explanation, and just, you just got to hold your needles to fly the approach or flight director. Our case, 25 left, this runway here, folks. Okay, so right now the arrival runways are 25 left, 25 right. 25 center, last we heard, was the departure runway. It's this north-south runway, 1836, preferably 18, because that's a long taxiway to 36, is the preferred departure runway. All right. So, 111.15 is our localizer frequency. 246 is our final approach for this run. At DF 620, that's right here at 11.5 miles from the ILS frequency. See how it matches? And from the VOR, believe it or not, there is a VOR at this airport. It is 12.2. Got to be at 4,000 feet. It actually tells you on the chart. US, you don't get this a lot. So you're 4,000, which is 3,639 feet above sea level. And our minimums for the approach, our decision altitude and height. They're the same point in the sky, folks. Both those numbers. It's just how we're rereading it. Are we reading it in bold from sea level or in the bracket from ground level? Not a lot of wiggle room here when you're in the 300s, but when you're in the 8,000s, that's a lot. So here, it's only 300, we're talking 2 feet roughly difference. So 561 feet is 200 feet you know, above the, it's not 200 feet above the ground. So anyway, you got it. This one, they are actually different. Interesting. Oh, no, they aren't. Yeah, if you 361, that's 200-foot difference. My bad. It is the same point in the sky. They had me confused there again for a second. That's why I was a private pilot. But anyway, sorry, folks. So again, we're going to come in from 626 at 4,000, fly well at or above 4,000, descending to 4,000. Now we do have some speed restrictions finally popping in. Maximum doesn't mean to be at, folks. It means the fastest you should be going is 220 at this point. 680, is that going to be down here? No. All right, here at 620, again, you're 11 miles out, so add, let's call it 14 miles out. Yeah, I'd be a little slower than 220 as well. And more than likely, ATC would have you slowed up anyway. Okay, so anyway, you're coming in, you hit 620, then 4.1, and you're in. Okay. The next chart here is your vertical. Again, 4,000 feet right here. Hangar. Welcome. Thank you, sir, for the have a nice flight. Hope you enjoyed. Work your way in, follow the chart, and for us, we'll be right around the 130 mark of 700 feet a minute, we'll call it, roughly, ballpark it. So, to make the 3-degree slope. Hangar, again, thank you, sir, for being a part of Flying with Mike and joining us today. Thank you for being here. All right, ALSIF 2. Pappy's on the left, rails, and then our missed approach. Missed approach is going to be come off the runway. Well, actually, let's just look at it up here real quick. DF290, wait a minute here. Direct to DF290. Maximum 220, direct 685. Boom, 290, 685. And then climb on course 237. Intercept direct chat CHA to 5,000, maximum speed 250. So that's all this is basically saying, in a way, your initial part to it. We need 550 meters for visibility. 500, well, we're not going to get 561 in a METAR, folks. Just going to let you know it's above ground level. So it's 200 feet. So you got to have a broken or overcast above 200, visibility 550 or higher. So what do we have here? KVOC, we'll see. It didn't appear that way on that radar. 10 degrees. Okay, so we're not, so right now it's clear, visibility okay. That means this should be met. It should be. And then if you start losing approach lighting systems like your touchdown zone and center lines, this is what you got. You also have a delineator here, your ILS, your decision height, a little higher. Not sure what that's all about. Not really sure what that's all about. 7 feet higher, though. Oh, 27 feet higher, sorry. All right. So there's your charts. And now, if for some reason, I forgot and I was remiss, your numbers are below these. Okay, it doesn't mean we go to our alternate right away. Are you as a pilot Cat 2, Cat 3 rated? Is the plane Cat 2, Cat 3 rated? Is the airline, is the airport? All of those factor in, can I shoot this? Obviously the airport is. Now look at your minimums. Okay, ceiling, there isn't one. And you come down to with it saying 75 meters. If you're going to shoot Cat 2, this is what you got to have. 100 and 300. RA of 95 feet. All right, so that's what happens, folks, if you get some really icky weather. Okay, we're 62 miles at this point out. Let me get some toolkit out of the way. And let's start getting our approach data in. Bear with me. Where charts? There you are. Okay, so next phase. All right, so our QNH 1020. This I can actually show. Hang on. Here's our weather, folks. Okay, so 1020. Temperature 10. If you're not sure, folks, hey, they've got the translation right here. There's some people, the METARs, you don't get yet. Been around them a long time, folks. $200. Yeah, I'd really be shocked if they're not using, unless they're closed. Maybe the runway's under construction. Who knows? Or destruction, depending. No significant. And what are we looking for? Oh, okay. Let's go back to our Cat 1 arrival. Let's do 561. Okay, Barrow. That is your, what I do is that's your mean sea level. Old. Okay, so that's Barrow. 200 is your above ground number. A lot of airlines go with the Barrow, so I'm going to do that 561. It'll go off when we reach right here. Well, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. So let me pull that away. So when we reach 561, we should see 200 where the radar altimeter is. And our transition level. All right, time to cheat a little. Let me see if I can pull it up from FATSIM. If it's there, it would have showed up. Yeah, nobody's controlling. So I believe we saw 6,000. I'm going to go with, what the heck, we'll leave it. I'll change it beforehand. Oh, I didn't put in my barometer, 1020. All right, let's go back to Perf. 40 miles out, and we're going to descend to 11,000. And here is our top of descent notation, this hockey stick right here. All right, one thing I didn't explain a lot, and I do apologize. Oh. Okay, I don't know why that happened. That was weird. What was weird is I went to one of my pages and it hadn't shown it updated yet. I was trying to figure that out. That's the second one. What the heck? There we go. Huh. All right, there we go. Things looking a little better now. All right. Sorry for all that confusion there, folks. Had me confused. But anyway, So we are, I think, where's that hockey stick at? I lost. Oh, there it is. So you can see it drifting up. Again, remember, folks, KERAX is at or above 11,000. So we're actually good, believe it or not, in our setup here. And he So you can kind of get an idea how we're doing on the approach. All right. Top of descent now 20 miles out. Bear with me a second. Got a couple items here on the checklist to run. So we got the mixed due arrival in, performance approach. And we need to do takeoff. Try this again. Top of descent winds. So what I'm going to do is go to data, function, request. I could also go here, do menu, ATSU, AOC, and get our weather. Now we should not have ATIS information, but we'll try. Not available. All right, well, we're almost, well, you know what? We'll just do this one more time. Did it again. Okay, there's the same weather. Finally, let's head over here, do a quick look at our weather. We're looking at 0120, so we're actually a little behind here. 200 at 11. 10 degrees. Okay, for this, I will need to get the translation. 3012 is that. Okay, dry off. And well, let's see what low brakes will do. 6,000 feet down a 7,000 foot or 13,000 foot runway. Let's go medium. We can get off quicker. All right, there we go. Go back to flight plan, perf. So now we know we got an approach speed of 137, minus about 5 off of that. We'll have a landing speed at around 132, 130. Everything's good. Let's set this into a descent. All right. A little faster than normal, but we crossed at or above 11,000. Can't say I didn't. Now this little green ball we talked about last flight with the 767, but it's hard to show it when it's not there. This is equivalent, Boeing guys. and gals to that little gauge you get here to where are you in that proposed flight level. That's the same thing in Airbus, just a green dot. It just needs to be between the dots here. That's when you're actually on the profile. We'll begin decelerating here pretty soon. Here's where the proposed point of hitting 11,000 is, right here. Notice the reason you have this big bow is how fast we're going, folks. 300-ish knots. Actually, we are doing 361 over the ground. Wind is kind of in our face, 181, so it's kind of a quartering wind, pretty brisk, 70 knots. So but we have no restriction in this descent or to slow down. I am gonna slow us. And watch that as we slow. I'm gonna start the speed brakes. It will, as we begin to slow, take this big bow here and bring it in a little bit like it should. I'm gonna go ahead and set 250 now. All right. All right. What I was going to explain, this gauge right here, folks, can't pop it out. But if you go to ATC comms, get your connection, this is your DLC, CPDLC. It's really not very functional with Toliss as it is with some of the other sims and products that are out there, but it is. I've only connected up with it once, and I'll flat out tell you I really wasn't impressed. So I don't use it. POSCON, that's how we talk, is pretty much you text it, they get it. It's real simple stuff. Ooh, wet. We're still west of the runway, so we'll consider it dry. All right, and if you haven't noticed, our ILS has come up. IFSW. Now, most likely, I am going to land this, folks. I am not going to auto land. We had some fun a couple of flights ago. That flight is up at YouTube, folks. The LaGuardia Boston JFK one we did. We went into Boston. Now, the ceiling was 800 feet, well above minimums, 200. Visibility 1 mile, still above the half-mile requirement. But folks, because of all of that, we didn't see the runway till 500 feet. Up out, as if we had come out at 500 feet. Unbelievable. I let the plane auto land, and wow. Great stream. You want to go check it out. It's at our YouTube channel. Like I said, it's LaGuardia, KLGA, Boston, KBOS, KJFK to JFK. Fun times. Actually, the departure out of Boston to JFK, little hairy-carry. All right, folks, my nose was bugging the heck out of me. All right, I am going to continue our descent now to 4,000. Now, if I would go the right way, we wouldn't have had that click, click, click. Okay, there you can see us working the ILS up there. Again, I do want to thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike today. Okay, speed brakes are off, altimeters, we're still above. Go for what, 1020 I think it was? Yeah. Really do appreciate y'all, and if you're new to the channel, love you to smash that follow button. That way we can see you on, you'll know when tomorrow's stream starts. So, been a great time flying from Budapest up here to Frankfurt, and hope you enjoy. Now, I set 240, folks, mainly because there's a lot of ACARS systems out there that you may run across that are very particular about that 250 at 10,000. This gives you that little 10-knot cushion to help you out if they don't have a cushion built into it. I'm going to go ahead and activate. Now, I do not recommend you click activate approach phase until you have control of the speed. I do, so we're going to click it, confirm it. If not, you're going to slow to 150, the F speed. Drag it all the way in. That's kind of, unless you turn it off and set it. So, why not turn it off and set it, and then you maintain the speeds. And again, right here at 622. Okay, we're still before 620. Is the projected point will be at 4,000. However, be mindful, there is a maximum speed, 220 right ahead of you at that point. So you may want to think about slowing up. All right, so we are turning in on the ILS. Let's see if we have anything yet. It does not appear so. We do have the numbers showing up. We just don't have any showings of the localizer or glide slope, which we're a pretty good distance out still. About 30 miles, like I told you. So we'll start picking this stuff up. We're 29 miles on the localizer. It's just not showing yet. And if I see the airport, I'll go from there. But I don't think, well, I'm starting to wonder about this, but I don't think it is. We're way high if that's it. Just gonna tell you that one. I think it's lakes. Aha, there's the localizer showing up right there. So we'll punch in localizer for now. And she'll go ahead and adjust for it. And we're now green on the localizer. So we're lining up. We'll be getting the glide slope here shortly. I'm going to go ahead and do my thing, put the speed brakes up, and get us slowing to 220. Still don't see anything, nor do I see a glide path yet. But we're about to hit 4,000 feet. We are now 20 miles out. And glide path alive. Going to approach. All right. It'll start as soon as we level off. It'll start coming in. I don't see the airport yet. Okay, what is Frankfurt? I better get that dialed in. Dun, 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 dun. Uh, 118.78. Frankfurt traffic. Lufthansa 458. Approximately 15 miles out on the ILS, 25 left. Starting to see what looks like the airport ahead of us, folks, but I don't have the runway, so we'll let it continue. We are crossing 220. I'm going to slow to 1 to 200 while we have the aircraft level. Once we hit 200, flaps 1. I'm going to go ahead and arm up the spoilers. Flaps 1. All right, we're 12 miles out. Spoilers armed. Brake fans are on and ready when we touch down, so we'll be in good shape there. Let's switch to the ILS. We are, my bad. Okay, had we gone with the flight to 25 right, that's where we would end up at. Our runway is somewhere right in here. I just can't make it out yet, so I'm going to let the aircraft do a lot of this. Okay, now we're going to slow. Okay, flaps 2. All right, I am starting to make out a runway. We'll let the airplane settle. Let's go flaps 3. Flaps 4. All right, plane's mine. Okay, we said 137 for approach. Yep.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Okay, let's get this girl back on track. All right, we are stable and will be landing. Okay, we're on visual cues. We are lined up for the landing area.
100 above.
Still stable landing.
Minimum. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10, 5.
And welcome, folks, to Frankfurt. Come off here, clear the hold line, and clear up some things. Flaps. Ground spoilers down. You know what? I think an X-Plane 12, I don't think I've flown into this airport. Okay, we'll get off here. I used to know the taxi procedures here. I think we go taxi here towards the terminal. The one closer to the tanks and all you see there, I think, is the opposite. I got it backwards. Been a long time since I've come into Frankfurt, so hope y'all are enjoying. We'll get up here to about N8, N7, and we're going to park in here, I think. Hey, we got to get past this building. So around L10, L14, that's where we'll make our turn up, aiming for parking in this area. My thoughts, my luck, Lufthansa will be over at the terminal way over there. I don't even know what goes over there. All right, so there's November 10. We need November 8. But again, folks, fun place. Oh, I guess I should have called off. Lufthansa traffic, correction, Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 458. We're off 25 left and taxiing to Lufthansa parking. Either N7, N8, we'll see. When it does that, folks. But again, hope you enjoyed the flight from Budapest, Hungary, up here to Frankfurt, Germany. You know what? I think I'm just going to stay on N8. Take it to, get it pretty close in field here. We'll see. Oh, do I want to take the red or the blue, or we'll go yellow? Hey, Hawker, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the landing if you got a chance to see it. But again, folks, you know, again, I'm really not sure if I've been in Frankfurt with X-Plane 11 or 12. This is one of those places I used to love to fly. I actually flew for a Lufthansa virtual airline. So, All right, parking brake finally decided to set. All right, let's see here. Final checks of parking brake, how the brakes look. Good. Turn the fan off. Parking procedure, anti-ice bleed on. And welcome to Frankfurt, folks. Again, fun flight, really fun. That was a enjoyable 500-mile flight. All right. See how the auto works. Let's get the chocks on first. Let's see which jetway is going to deploy. Kind of curious. All right. And I don't think we need the beacon anymore. All right, let's see what's going on here. And the animated equipment is starting to show up. Great deal, great deal. All right, let's get in here and look at some numbers, shall we? All right, according to Mac Air, 261 feet a minute. Really a good flight. And pending, good. Close that out. All right, so let's see what Sim Toolkit did. Okay, just clearing off some things. Perfect. All right, so looking at Sim Toolkit, 478 feet of man. I'm going to talk to these guys. 121 knots. Okay, that could have something to do with it, but a 1.2? 1.3 Gs? Wow, we'll have to see if we get lucky and be able to replay that. Let's get this out of the way first. All right. Now, again, I told you in the beginning why I like this program. It is extremely good at showing you metrically maybe some areas you may want to improve. Okay, so let's see what I'm talking about here. First off, here's our flight. Okay, here's the details of the flight. Hour and 46 minutes, 451 minutes, 2,700 kilos of fuel, 1.28. We saw all this. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? Knew we were gonna land. By the way, this is that terminal I'm talking about. Wow. That's incredible. Is that all Lufthansa? I'm gonna have to check into that. Wow. But anyway, we came in 25 right, left, I'm sorry. Here's the aiming point visually. Okay. Each of the hash marks, folks, are 500 feet down the runway. We ended up 2,600 feet down a 13,000 foot runway. Really, 10,000 feet to go, folks. Not overly concerned. Really right on the center line or very close. So all of these metrics look good. Now let's get over to the touchdown. Pitch 5.6, might have came up too high. 121, we slowed too much. So that could be something to do with why they recorded us at 478. Again, the airline that I fly for, their ACARS program puts a feet per minute. They had us at 260. So I don't know which one and what, where they actually get it from. All right. So take a quick casual look down here. You can see now the automatic, everything starts moving automatically here. And again, just so you can see it, I know it doesn't center up well. But again, we're in the gate. Gate being, I can get the camera to move a little more. There we go. Oh, we're going to have to go out a little. Okay. More. Looks like Alpha 52. All right. Let's see here. POSCON. Okay, we are now off the network. So what that means basically, folks, is I can go in reverse and not hit telling me it automatically ghosted us. With POSCON, VATSIM would just disconnect. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and clean up the aircraft here. All right. I just like it this way. Even though we're going to see them real quick again, I just like it this way. All right, we'll give the minute here for the commercials, and then we'll hopefully be ready to do a rewind. But again, welcome aboard, folks. Those of you subscribing, you're watching this ad-free because of your subscription. We thank you so much, and we thank you for what we've been able to buy for the stream with that money. Thank you so much. And I don't want to trivialize it, but I feel more needs to be given to you all for sticking with us, being the subscribers you are, and helping us through the days where we needed new fleets or new sceneries or, to help spice up the stream. So thank you so much. All right. Go ahead, pull the chocks. Brakes are still set. All right, folks, welcome back. Let's see if we're going to be able to rewind. I didn't want to do it, and all of a sudden you're going, where's the airplane? Here we go. I think from here is a good point. Let's see. Gear lever still shows them up, which is good. Bear with me. We'll see. 400 feet per minute's what Sim Toolkit said. 260 is what Mac Air said. What looks right? Eh, we'll split the difference. 300 feet a minute works. All right. And we were pretty slow. And pretty high. But again, folks, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. You know, not every flight can be perfect on the landing. I wish I could say that, but I just do. Doggone. See what this terminal looks like over here. Doesn't look like much. Looked a lot more intense on the Sim Toolkit picture than what the default looks like. I know they've been working on it for a few years, so not really sure. Wow. There's what everybody's used to. Let's do one of my favorite shots.
Hundred above. 200. Minimum.
Boy, I don't remember if I saw jetways on it or not, but boy, if we could get jetways put on there, boy, that'd be nice.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10.
And by the way, folks, that section where that new terminal is, that's the old Frankfurt Rhein-Main Airport. Air Force Base, my bad, Air Base. Let's see how the tower looks. That looks spectacular there, folks. All right, folks, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here as the aircraft rolls off here in the tower. Want to say thank you again for flying with Mike. Appreciate you all here. Appreciate you taking time out on your Tuesday. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow. You can look down below here on Twitch in the About section to see what tomorrow's flight will entail. Those of you watching this as a replay on YouTube, check Twitch, then come to About and you'll see it. Or come over to our Discord channel. The invite's right here. And the schedule, we try to get it up about a week ahead of time. So, but folks, I really do want to say thank you so much for flying with us today. It's been a pleasure running out from Budapest, Hungary to our folks here in Frankfurt. God bless you all. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow on our flight. See you then. God bless.